The McDonald County Chamber of Commerce and the River Ranch Resort here in Knoll partnered together to put on a job fair for Tyson workers. I'm Anthony Saviello with the story.
Plus, Nevada, Missouri brings a new brand of broadband service to the community, and schools in the 4 states and much of the nation deal with a shortage of bus drivers.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A community in desperate need of help gets at least a little today. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. Tyson workers who will soon lose their jobs got a chance to meet with potential employers. KOAM's Anthony Saviello has the story.
With the Tyson plant in Knoll set to close in just over 2 months, 1,500 workers are now looking to find new jobs. However, that search may not be as difficult as they thought.
We wanted the community to know that the business world and the community is behind them, so we figured we had to do it quickly. And basically we just sent the word out, put a sign-up form on the website, and the calls started coming in.
The McDonald County Chamber of Commerce organized this job fair in just 1 week to hopefully alleviate some of the stress put on Tyson employees who will soon be without work. However, the fair was not exclusive and invited all who sought to find a job.
Our thought was, let's help everybody. Obviously this started because of Tyson, but it doesn't mean that we can't help other people. And so we've had a lot of people reach out asking that same question. But this is here to help everybody.
One of the Tyson workers that I spoke with said that he'd been at the Tyson plant for almost 27 years. And now that it's shutting down, he's hopeful to find a new job quickly.
In September, we will have probably 3,000 jobs represented at that job fair, all within driving distance of here. So if somebody wants to work, the opportunity will be there to work.
Despite the hardship that's set to come with the closing of the Tyson plant in the next couple of months, one thing's for sure: there's hope for the people in the town of Knoll. Reporting in Knoll, Missouri, I'm Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
The job fair today had almost 40 businesses in attendance. Town officials also say they're still working to bring a new business in to replace Tyson. The Southwest Missouri Democrats today held a town hall in Joplin to discuss labor issues. The keynote speaker was Liz Wirtz from Missouri Jobs with Justice. Among the topics discussed were increasing the minimum wage and mandating sick leave.
The right of workers to earn paid time off, as well as an incremental increase in the minimum wage in Missouri. This is an issue that's very important in our area in particular, because while Southwest Missouri doesn't see the rise that you see in the East Coast or the West Coast, prices have gone up, rent has gone up, wages have not kept pace, and it's very difficult for folks to make ends meet here.
The town hall was at the Community Service Center of Joplin. As the new school year approaches, the 4-state area, like much of the country, is dealing with a shortage of school bus drivers. We spoke to the Carl Junction and Pittsburgh school districts. While they were able to fill all their full-time bus driver positions for the fall semester, they're having a hard time hiring for substitute positions. The local school districts are not alone. According to USA Today, a survey conducted by Hop, Skip, Drive shows that 92% of education and transportation leaders report their operations are constrained by the driver shortages. As the school year approaches, officials are concerned about unexpected but not unfamiliar situations.
Right now, the first day, I will probably be driving a bus. Our mechanics can both drive, so we do our best to get as many routes as we can get out there. I don't see us having a problem the first day, just because everybody should be here.
Times where teachers are, for example, finished with their class day and they may be going to an activity anyway, or a coach. We can use those as a bus driver to and from that location if they're going. And it also gives them the opportunity to maybe have a little bit more spending money.
Both school districts are taking applications for substitute bus drivers. They also support the chosen candidates with paid training. For more information, go to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Another beautiful day and evening out there. Meteorologist Sam Lane.
Thank you very much, Dow. You're right. It's been absolutely gorgeous the last few days. Look at the lows this morning in the 50s across the area, mid 50s in Monette, as well as up in Garnett, and then upper 50s and 60s down in Oklahoma, but just a gorgeous day. And then this afternoon we saw highs in the low 80s, even some places stayed in the 70s like Monette and Cassville, but mid 80s not too far away out to the west. And we're going to see more of that tomorrow. Temperatures right now have dropped down into the 70s and 60s across the area, so another cool night shaping up for us as we see temperatures dropping through the 60s to about 63 by tomorrow morning. And looking down the lane, we're going to call it a cool night tonight, a warmer Thursday, and a pretty hot weekend shaping up, as well as the drought continuing, and I'll have more details on that in just a bit.
See you soon. There's a new internet service provider in Nevada, Missouri. FastWire Broadband today held this ribbon cutting to launch their service. Officials say it'll help bring Nevada fast, reliable internet.
So Nevada, Vernon County is such a rural community. We haven't had something like this, really had the opportunity to grow that. And so this will, I think, will be something that will extend people's businesses, extend people's communication to bigger cities, just help everybody in the community.
FastWire, with a Y, provides internet to other locations in Missouri, Nebraska, Louisiana, and Alabama. Coming up, the latest edition of the Marion County Record hit newsstands today, the first since police raided the paper's offices last week. Plus, tragedy strikes a Kansas community as a school bus hits an 8-year-old girl.
Coming home in Carthage, Missouri. .com/pigskin for your chance to see the Kansas City Chiefs take on the LA Rams at Arrowhead Stadium on October 22nd. The lucky winner gets a free parking pass, 2 tickets, and $100. Enter today.
IndigoSkyCasino.com for details.
Join the battle against veteran suicide at the Charlie Tutu Outdoors Banquet.
Just 5 days after this police raid at the Marion County, Kansas newspaper's office, people are looking to get their hands on the new edition of the paper. The front page providing a snippet of what's happened this past week. Although as the paper and its employees get their property back, this situation is far from over. Reporter Sean Loging has the latest developments and how the paper's owner is responding.
It's out.
After working until well after 5 this morning.
The staff of the Marion County Record getting their paper into the hands of the public. That's far from the only thing making the paper's owner, Eric Meyer, happy this Wednesday.
Oh, we're celebrating. We have been celebrating. We started celebrating last night.
As the paper was on the printer, Eric says he learned Wednesday morning the Marion County attorney had pulled the search warrant and the paper and the staff will get their property back. In a statement, the county attorney says insufficient evidence exists to establish a legal sufficient nexus between the alleged crime and the place's search and the items seized. The paper's attorney taking custody of those items.
Our attorney has announced that he is asked that it will be forensically examined. They've told him that nothing was ever looked at on it, but that the forensic examination would be done to make sure that nothing was.
Last Friday, Marion police raided the paper's office and the home of its owner, which the paper's attorney and journalism and First Amendment organizations have called illegal. Police claim that the paper allegedly illegally obtained and used personal information about a Marion business owner.
The document, by the way, that they were supposedly looking for was sitting on my desk about 30 inches from the computer they took. They left it there.
People continue to rally behind the paper. Mick McGuire came from Emporia to pick up his first issue after subscribing following Friday's raid.
I'm glad that this has reached national and even international attention, because the United States needs to be that beacon of where the freedom of the press really is.
For Eric, this changes nothing for how he does his job, as what happened is far from close.
Found a few topics that we want to investigate further as a result of this.
Some news media advocates had expressed concern that the police raid could have a chilling impact on a news outlet's ability to protect sources and therefore hinder investigative reporting. A tragedy in Wichita, Kansas. An elementary school student is dead after she was hit by a bus. Police say the 8-year-old girl was waiting for her school bus when she darted out between 2 cars and was hit by a different bus coming through the neighborhood.
If you're a parent or even have these conversations with your children that we're going to have increased activity with the buses on the roads now that school's begun, and just in general, to have those discussions with your children about entering the roadway at any time and to be safe about it.
At last report, that girl's name had not yet been released. The accident is under investigation. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly announced today that an additional $1 million will go toward efforts to combat the effects of the ongoing drought. That amount is in addition to the $3.5 million distributed each year for similar conservation efforts. The funds will go toward erosion reduction, promotion of water conservation, and to mitigate the effects of the ongoing drought. This additional funding comes as the U.S. Department of Agriculture projects that the wheat harvest will be 122 million bushels short of the state's 330 million bushel average. A little later, Pittsburgh welcomes a group of international students to the community.
And speaking about the drought, it looks like it's going to continue for a little bit longer. We'll have the details in your weekend forecast when we come back.
KOAM Skyview, bringing you the big picture. KOAM News Now.
Hi, I'm Tracy from Kitchen Essentials. Want to freshen up your cookware, bakeware, or tableware?
Only at Ashley.
Well, I hope you've had a chance to get out there and enjoy the absolutely beautiful weather that we've had over the 4 states in the last several days, especially in the mornings with very cool temperatures, including this morning at Seneca, Missouri with Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. As we go through the day, you can see mostly fair skies all afternoon with lots of blue out there and also some cool temperatures in the afternoon, certainly below normal. We only made it up to 83 today after starting out at a chilly 58. Of course, those were way below the normals of 90 and 68. We're still behind on the rainfall, though. We could use some more rain, but unfortunately right now on radar, there's not a whole lot to be found anywhere in the 4-state region, and across the entire central part of the country is pretty dry, and it's going to stay that way for several days, and I'll show you why in a moment. But right now, we're looking at temperatures very, very pleasant. 66 in Stockton right now, 68 in Lamar, 69 in Carthage. Pick out your hometown, 74 in Veneta, 73 in Neodesha, as well as Sedan. All right, let's take a look at the dew points, because this is what's been the big factor. With these low dew points, it's allowed temperatures to drop down into the 50s and 60s in the morning, and that's where we're looking at dew points right now, in the 60s. But notice we're starting to see the humidity coming back a little bit down in Oklahoma, and as we go through the next few days, the humidity is going to start increasing once again. But right now, dew points are not all that bad. Right now in Joplin, we're sitting at 71 degrees with a southeast wind at 6. Feels like 71. That's because the dew point's low at 60, and currently the pressure is steady. We're not expecting any rain over the next few days. In fact, pretty close to zero for the next 36 hours. Instead, we're going to see this ridge of high pressure off to the west start to inch its way back across our area. And as it does, all the storminess is going to go up to the north. And instead, we're going to be left with a hot dome of high pressure over us for the weekend. We do have a chance of showers in our forecast, but we're going to have to wait several days before it gets here. Tonight, we're going to see mostly fair skies with lows in the 60s. And then tomorrow, we're going to have a front drop down from the north, but all it's going to do is change the wind direction. We're still going to see temperatures in the upper 80s to around 90, which is around normal for this time of the year. Then the front moves through and we start to get some drier air move in, so we drop back down into the 50s and lower 60s as we go into Friday morning. Then Friday afternoon, that front retreats back to the north and east as a warm front, and we start to see more normal temperatures around here with highs around 90. And then on Saturday morning, we'll see lows pretty much in the 60s and 70s. How about the next 7 days? Well, looking pretty dry, but also getting a little bit warmer. Certainly by Sunday with the temperature close to 100 degrees. And then we start to cool it off just a little bit as we go through the rest of the work week. Maybe a few clouds increasing in the early part of the week, and then more chances of showers starts to come into our forecast on Thursday and Friday of next week.
We will certainly welcome more showers by then, although we've had some heavy rains in some areas recently, not nearly enough.
Not nearly enough, but hopefully we'll get some more as we go through the forecast.
All right, Sam, thank you. Mercy is partnering with Concert Health to provide more accessible behavioral health treatment. To combat the lack of mental health access in the community, Mercy is collaborating with Concert Health to build a model for people to receive the care they need while giving primary care providers an avenue to expand services, allowing nurse practitioners and other APPs to prescribe behavioral health treatment cuts back on wait times and frees up appointments.
simply because if they have a busy life and they don't have time to go outside and seek services, but they can take a phone call at home, or maybe they have a lot of children and they don't have anyone to provide babysitting services for them, but they can just step into the other room and receive a phone call and get therapy.
Mercy plans to implement the collaborative care model to Arkansas and Oklahoma by the end of this year. College students are back on campus, and for international students at Pitt State, the welcome comes in the form of fried chicken. It is Southeast Kansas, after all. Students were brought to Trinity Baptist Church, where they were invited to mingle with other students, and they received a free meal. KOAM's Anthony Saviello got the chance to talk with a few students about some of the differences between their homes and the U.S.
What's your name?
My name's Agawan.
Where are you from?
I'm from Nepal.
You're from Nepal?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the biggest difference living in Nepal as opposed to being here in the U.S.?
Well, in the U.S., I live alone.
But in Taiwan, like everything's small. Like it's really tiny, and when we go to the restaurant, we just have to walk like 5 minutes. And the convenience store is everywhere.
The Trinity Baptist Church is one of many organizations and businesses that play host to these students every semester. Still ahead, Pitt State Athletics expands to include a new varsity sport, and Webb City softball prepares to begin its season in just a couple of weeks. John Dales has those stories and more coming up next.
Has earned the
warranty lasts forever at Roper Honda.
Hey, and welcome into sports. I'm John Dales. Today will go down as an historic day for Pittsburgh State University. They announced for the first time in 32 years they're expanding their athletic program to include a new varsity team.
Officially, we'd like to announce that as part of our sports program at Pittsburgh State, part of Guerrilla Athletics, that we will field a competitive women's soccer team in the fall of 2024, which is a long...
Those are the words that start it all. A women's soccer program is coming to Pittsburgh State. And that is something that those around the university have been asking for.
Last year I met with about 700 students, and these were in focus group conversations, and the students almost in every session brought up, could we have soccer? Like, when can we start soccer at Pitt State?
One of the points of emphasis mentioned by athletic director Jim Johnson is fielding a team that lives up to Pitt State's standard, competing for championships right away.
The president and the athletic director talk about, we're going to be competitive from day one. That's music to the heart for a commissioner. As you know, we have a really strong conference in women's soccer, so the competition will be tough. But I loved what I heard this morning about from day one trying to be competitive in the conference, in the region, and competing for national titles.
So still over a year before the Guerrilla soccer team takes the field for the first time. But for now, Pitt State Athletics says they're focused on making a coaching search this coming winter and building that stadium where the land currently is set up for intramural soccer. And it's located just to the east of the baseball field at Gene Bicknell Sports Complex. Well, we turn our direction to high school sports and softball. Another season quickly approaching in Missouri. This afternoon, that brings us to Webb City High School, where the Cardinals coming off a trip to the district semifinals last year. Webb City brings back 4 seniors in 2023. A year ago, they had none in their 2022 season. That season, the Cardinals went 17-19. Webb City opens their year against Quapaw and McDonald County. Cardinals have another young group in 2023, but according to those inside the program, the future looks bright.
Practices started off really well, and the girls are working really hard. Everyone's, competing for spots, and we've got a lot of depth, so that's good. We got a lot of pitching, so we've been doing a lot of live hitting and really working on our offense.
I think we have a really bright future, and I think that we can go really far this season as long as we're working together. And I see a district championship in our future as long as all the pieces are clicking.
Just been working on different positions. Everybody has been moving around because nobody has a set position yet, so it's just been kind of competitive. But we're all coming together as a team, and I can see that early on.
Rounding things out to the NFL, some good news for Chiefs fans. Justin Ross, the wide receiver who reappears in practice this afternoon, looked like he was a full participant, was carted off the field in yesterday's practice with a leg or hamstring injury. That's what head coach Andy Reid had said. Second-year wide receiver from Clemson did miss all of last season with a foot injury as well. Bringing things back to that exciting announcement from Pitt State, though, I think maybe the thing that kind of shows the most how important this is what the president had said, that he talked to 700 students and it kept coming up over and over again, where's soccer? So there's definitely an interest inside the university of having this team.
Obviously, there's been a growing interest across the nation in soccer for a while, and a lot of people, I'm sure, are surprised to learn that Pitt State hadn't previously had a soccer program.
I was surprised when I found that out.
Now they have one. We'll be right back.
Massive Lost Lease Furniture and Mattress Sell-Off is going strong.
The school year in Columbus, Kansas officially kicks off with an annual tradition. You might call it a yearly prank, but is it really a prank when everybody is in on it and everybody has fun? Some of the seniors at the high school left the fountain before the front entrance of the court filled with bubbles, and it is really an impressive sight. I don't know what kind of soap they use for this, but millions of bubbles escaped the fountain for some time. City officials say, of course, it is all good, clean fun. That
Did
is
you see
an
that one
impressive
car swerve to go into the bubbles?
little free car wash.
Exactly.
That's what they get. Maybe you could throw a little laundry in the fountain
That's
in the
right.
process, and save on your laundry bill.
I think a real prank would be if they did it again tomorrow.
Yes.
Hey now.
Or if on, say, St. Patrick's Day it was green, or
Yes,
Valentine's
exactly.
Day they did it as red or something. The weather looking pretty nice.
Looking pretty nice for one more day, and then we start to go back to normal, especially by the weekend with temperatures near 100. Hopefully we will stay below 100, and then we have a chance of showers late next week on Thursday and Friday. Maybe some tropical moisture will start to work its way up in here, but we definitely need some rainfall, but at least we're not seeing 100 plus.
Yeah, tropical moisture sounds muggy and nasty, but we need the moisture.
It is a little bit of a trade-off.
I guess so. Final sports note.
In baseball, our local team's going to come back to earth a little bit. Cardinals lose tonight. Royals lost that extra inning game last night. They also lose tonight as well.
Now, back to their old habits from
Yeah,
earlier in the
clearly.
season. Thanks for joining us. Morning show starts at 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.
Closed captioning on KOAM TV is